and welcome to the 21 Convention at Tampa, Florida. This speaker that we have for you today is actually just a phenomenal guy. If you have not witnessed his 21 Convention speeches previous, definitely check those out. He's also been a host of 2 conventions and featured on the 21 Convention podcast. If any of you guys want to know about sex in a crazy form of awesome, threesome, open relate, whatever you want to call it, you're going to have to check that one out. Find it on the YouTube channel. But you can find him at innerconfidence.com, and his name is Robbie Kramer. Let's come on up. Yes.
Thanks, buddy. Always gives the best introductions. Hey, guys. How's everyone doing? Good. So, today, I'm going to be talking about the most underrated way to communicate with women. Anyone have any idea what that is?
Text. Carrier pigeon.
Texting. Second, close carrier pigeon. Close second. So I'm going to be talking about texting. And before I decided to talk about texting, I was having this dilemma. And I'm sure the other speakers at the convention can relate. It's the speaker's dilemma. Like, what am I going to do my talk about? Because I know there's so many awesome speakers here that are going to be talking about, you know, the bigger picture on dating, approaching, day game, inner game. There's so many facets on your hero's journey to improve as a man. And my dilemma is always, you know, I want to give kind of like the big picture, rah-rah speech. You guys need to go out and improve your lives, but you're already here. Like, I don't have to tell you guys that. You're already here. You're investing in yourself. You're doing what it takes to become a better version of you. And that's essentially what I've been doing for the last 12 years. And it's my full-time job helping other guys do that same thing. So I didn't want to preach to the choir. I also, you know, there's techniques and there's principles, right? There's principles of what's going to make you a better guy. You guys all heard Socrates' speech where he gave that amazing picture of what it looks like to date in modern-day society. And I'm sure you guys could all kind of see where you fit into that. And I really wanted to give you guys something very tangible that you could walk away with, that you could just start running and using immediately. And I find that the most important thing that guys kind of just don't realize the importance is texting. Because if you get a phone number and your texting is lame, you're never going to get a date. Like, the competition's out there. Ask any beautiful woman. She'll give her number out to many, many, many guys, which means she's getting many, many, many texts and phone calls and carrier pigeon messages. And she only has so much time. You know, she only has 7 days a week. So why would she see you? If you made an amazing first impression, your texting doesn't have to be as good. But sometimes, like when it comes to day game, which is my favorite way to approach women, he may only have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, versus the guy who chatted her up in a bar for an hour and a half. How do you get that date when you didn't have much time? So I'm going to be talking about texting. I'm going to be giving you guys a ton of information. Take some notes, because there's some good stuff in here. And I also want to say that, you know, this is how to keep a woman happy, right? There's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to dating, relationships, becoming a better guy, and you guys have heard a lot of that. And for you guys listening at home, listen to all these 21 Convention talks. They're amazing, right? You have to be well-dressed. You have to be a great communicator. You have to text. You have to be confident. Your inner game has to be on point. You got to be fearless. So there's many, many facets, but I really wanted to give you guys some real tangible stuff. So let's get on to it. You got her number. Now what? So when I first got into the whole seduction community, pickup artist thing, there was all this stuff out there on phone game. And I was like, what is this phone game, text game, online game? There's too many games to learn. And I quickly realized that you can just eliminate calling from the equation almost completely. Unless the girl's over 35 and, you know, she grew up without smartphones, even then. Like, very rarely will you come across a girl who does not use text messaging as her primary means of communication. Like, text messaging these days is the easiest, most frictionless way to communicate with people. Easier than email, goes straight to your phone. When a girl gets a text, you get a little excited. When you guys get a text, you get a little excited. It's like a you're opening a birthday gift, right? So, the whole do not call theorem. I realized that when I wanted someone's resources, like either a guy who had something I wanted or a woman that I wanted to date, I realized that in order for me to try to get those resources, I would pick up the phone and call, and they would send me a text back. Conversely, if someone wanted my resources, they would call me, and I would text them back. So it stands that the dude who wants shit calls, and the dude who has shit texts. So if you want to be the guy who has shit, then you should also text. If you get a woman's phone number and you call her before texting her, I'd say 75% of the time, you'll never hear from that girl again. It's painful for a girl to have to pick up the phone for a guy that she doesn't really know. Her phone's gonna ring. She's gonna be like, do I really want to pick up this phone call right now? This seems a little, I don't know, what's he gonna say, what's gonna happen? Oh, I'll just let it go to voicemail. Then you're like, shit, what kind of voicemail do I leave? Am I funny? Am I straightforward? Have you guys seen the movie Swingers? He calls, he leaves like 7 voicemails, and she decides that he's a total weirdo creep. So, you do not need to call women, really ever. I mean, my girlfriend right here, Genevieve, how often do we talk on the phone if it's not, going on some sort of, unless there's a good reason to call. Like we text back and forth all the time. It's amazing. It's easy. You don't need to call. Forget it. How to start a text conversation that doesn't suck. This one sucks. Hi, you. How are you? Nice shoes. Hi, you. Hey. And if you see down here, this girl actually posted this on Instagram, and it says, "Men, take note. If you send me 122 messages in 3 months and I don't respond, it means I'm not interested. Hashtag take a hint. Hashtag go away. Hashtag now you're blocked. Hashtag stalk my life." This sucks. Let's talk about how to start a text conversation that doesn't suck. The first one is callback humor. So, let me go back one. What is callback humor? If I'm out and I meet a girl at a Starbucks and we have a 5-minute conversation, and during that conversation we both talk about how much we like running or how much we like hockey. We connect over some commonality, and that's the thing that I remember about the conversation. I'm going to use some sort of humor that's relevant when I text her back. So an example of that, take this girl, Daria. I met Daria at a Petco. I was buying food for my dog. She was there with her little dog. And I used a ridiculous line because I'm usually out with my dog. If I see another girl with a dog, or even if she doesn't have a dog, I'll walk up to her and I'll say, "Hey, have you heard of Cesar Millan? Like the dog whisperer?" Well, I'm kind of like Cesar Millan. I speak to my dog. And your dog just told my dog that you have a crush on me. And it's the most ridiculous, corny, lame, stupid line, but it's just so over the top and goofy it works. And of course, I call myself out afterwards, and I'm like, sorry for the cheese ball line, but she gets the point, right? Now we're in a conversation. So that's what happens with Daria. And I texted her later, "Hey, it's Prince Cheeseball Charming from Petco and his sidekick Wiley." She gets a text like that, and she obviously knows who it is, and it's fun, it's flirty, it's a great conversation. Here's another way to start a conversation, because you don't always know you can't always go back with callback humor. Sometimes you won't think of anything, or you can't think of anything that was funny about the conversation, but this line is great. I call it the standard protocol line. So this is a girl that I met named Samira, met her at a bar. I was so drunk I couldn't remember much of what we talked about, which killed my chances for recall humor. And this text makes fun of the silly line in the Swingers movie that you have to wait 3 days before texting a girl. So the line is, "Hey, first name, I know it's standard protocol to wait 3 days before texting, but I wait 5. I know, I'm a gangster, LOL." She's going to follow up with something like this: "It's 3 business days, so you're not doing too bad. Smiley, how you been?" Right? The last way, and for all of you guys out there that love to meet women during the day, this is a text that you can always send that will always be relevant to that interaction.
out, find it on the YouTube channel, but you can find him at innerconfidence.com, and his name is Robbie Kramer. Let's come on up. Yes.
Until you're in a relationship, until you guys have that familiarity, until you've had sex a few times, that's the only reason why you should be texting a girl. There's no way he's getting this girl out. She already flaked, and now she feels badly that she can't give him another time. ABC, or tell you to jump off a bridge, which is funny. She doesn't feel that pressure to have to, she doesn't have to feel bad about letting you down. And if you can get a girl to, if you can create a situation where she doesn't feel pressure to let you down, you're going to do amazing with women, and you're going to give them options, and they're usually going to pick the option that you want.